Greetings. Good afternoon to all my friends here on Fit FM 96.7 Primal 4K, YouTube, Facebook, the whole World Wide Web. Welcome you all to Primal Sports Center. I'm your host, Dale.
And I'm Kane, the Schwab Watson, back again. And you know what time it is? It's time for Primal Sports. And we have a... As usual. You know, we are...
As usual.
Yeah. As usual, we have a guest interview this week, lineup. None other than...
The General Secretary of the JFF, the Jamaica Football Federation. You know, it's an hot.
Mm-hmm.
This man is well, he's wanted by everybody.
Yeah.
He's wanted by everybody for good reasons and bad as well. But we'll have him here in about 7 minutes time.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have him on, and you know the whole cascas with the Reggae Girlz and refusing the call up last week
to the public. Who is the General Secretary of the JFF?
Dennis Chung.
Yeah, who don't know Dennis Chung, the General Secretary of the JFF, will be on the air in a few minutes and give us a rundown of, you know, the post he's in, the position he's in, and the state of the JFF.
Most importantly, the most recent news. You know, with the Reggae Girlz refusing the call up for the Gold Cup qualifying game against Panama, which we lost 2-1. And also, I don't think they will play tomorrow against Guatemala in the National Stadium. And the girls refused to call up, and then based on money's owed, apparently, and also untimely appointment of the new head coach, which is Xavier Gilbert. You know, they're complaining that they weren't given adequate time and notice for these changes. So Dennis Chung will join us in just a few to discuss the good and the bad.
Yeah, I mean, you have to take the good and the bad.
We heard that the monies
were paid
this week. So
even so, the whole state of the JFF, as in their plans moving forward, and I mean, we saw the Minister of Sports, Bobby Green, saying that with this, they can move forward amicably and hopefully sever burn all
the bad blood.
And then move forward because
yes, and I was wondering how the minister, but I didn't think she intervened in regards to her position, because I don't think it can be political.
Yeah,
because
but she's a fan of sports. We know that.
Rightfully so. She's a big fan of all sports. She's been to table tennis tournaments. I see her in the stadium for track and field. So rightfully so, she intervened, and I guess changes were made. And Mr. Chung will divulge more about the whole, because I think FIFA actually presented something as well. So Mr. Chung will speak to that.
Yeah, we know we have a match coming up against Guatemala on Wednesday. On Wednesday in National Stadium.
Is Wednesday or Sunday?
Sorry, tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow and Sunday in National Stadium. So I mean, going forward, I hope that will encourage your fans to turn out and support the Reggae Girlz, no matter who is out there playing, because you know it's kind of a depleted squad. Although we see where future players 2-1 to Panama, after coming out for that historic run in the World Cup. So I mean, going forward, I hope this doesn't hinder the progress of the girls, because we see where from stage to stage where the football is growing for the girls. So I mean,
the football is definitely growing for the girls. I must admit that.
Yeah,
and even the replacement players that represented us against Panama, it was a good showing. You know, going down 2-1, and it was a makeshift team. You know, everything was kind of last minute for them as well.
But not getting the 3 points though. Would you just accept a good showing? Because I mean, we're at the stage where.
No, I accept a good change based on the circumstances that makeshift team is not the original Reggae Girlz team from the World Cup.
Yeah.
I think the entire team is new.
Yeah.
Because I think the girls, most of the girls refused to play, and I think they also got suspended from the JFF for refusing the call up. But I thought it was a good enough game based on the circumstance that they were playing under. So 2-1 is okay. And I hope, well, we still have a chance. We have to beat Guatemala tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then maybe we're gonna go into I think it's a draw within the Caribbean countries. We're going to play against it for that final spot for the Gold Cup. And we're hoping, well, I was kind of hoping that a couple of the girls, since the monies would paid over to the girls, that
the jump on the ship
would have some of them representing us tomorrow in the stadium, you know,
but
to
even
bring
so,
out the fans.
What would the girls that are already there, how would they feel?
Well,
you think they should just understand and be like, hey,
let me ask you something. The girls and that you boycotted tournaments before.
Yeah.
Let us be real. You boycotted tournaments before.
I've been left off teams before.
When you boycott and you have a stance that you're taking, and then you see other people go out there and play, how you feel? How do you feel? You feel betrayed?
In a way.
Oh, don't you think that the Reggae Girls felt betrayed that the substitutes actually turned up? And even so, the call up at that last minute.
But I mean, it's somebody has to represent. Somebody has to represent.
It's
so even
sides.
so, you have to look on even the country itself. A team has to be fielded. So, and that goes above all. Players need to be out there. So
represent Jamaica.
Yeah. So not because individuals boycott.
Yeah.
Who's going to play then? So even I taking the stance of boycotting, who's going to go to the Caribbean Championships or the Pan Am Championships? I mean, because I'm somewhat retired now, so somebody has to play.
I always have a problem with Jamaica, you know. Whenever we strike, I think we must strike together. Yeah, that's the only way you can have you can have meaningful impact on what you're striking for. When some strike and some don't strike, I think it defeats the purpose. When you're striking, I think you organize and you strike together. That's my opinion.
But that would never be the case, though.
Well,
because I've been in work situations where I kind of lead a strike and I see people still
stepping out,
still step out and go to work, and I'm like, bro. But I kind of expect it because people are.
But this happened with the West Indies. You remember back in the past, and
lions can't lead sheep, you know.
That is true. But
you'll always have sheep, you know.
That is true.
But you have to take a stand for yourself. And
as a lesser
so we understand from the girls' standpoint, we understand from the association standpoint, we understand from president's standpoint. I mean, there's different ways of looking at it. Even watching sports is different from, you realize how people analyze the game versus players who play the game and just fans and all of that. So, I mean,
I get you. And
LeBron is going to have a different take from us watching the game and saying, Eddie need to do better. And then LeBron probably says, why don't we go out there and do better?
That's exactly.
Eddie probably look at me, why you don't go and grab.
I can agree with you.
And grab 12 rebounds.
Because a special spin bowler for Jamaica. You're very close to the spin bowler. I remember a couple of years ago, some of the West Indies players had a problem with the cricket board. And the top name players strike. And one of the lesser players went and for that he was blacklisted by his own friends. You know, so but anyway, we'll have that discussion a little bit later on down in the show. But now, people, let us welcome the GenSec of the Jamaica Football Federation. Dennis Chung, welcome to Primal Sports.
We're not hearing you.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was muted. How are you doing?
We're doing good. How are you?
I'm good, man.
Yeah, man. So we just introduced you, and I mean, leading up to this interview, before we get into the hot take and all what's going on, I mean, how did you first get into the post of being General Secretary of the JFF?
Well, I was asked by the president to just sit and. Sorry, I was asked by the president to do it and contemplated for a little while, and then and decided that I would do it. So that's basically how I got in.
Okay, so you have background in football, growing up a football player. Why become, or is just business for you? Because I mean, we know people who go into sports or get into positions have not only affinity to the sport but also used to play the sport. So I just want to get
I mean, I played football when I was young, you know. Nothing really organized. I mean, apart from, you know, our little corner league and thing. And I love football, right? But it's really from the organizational point of view. I try to come in and help them with the organization of it, you know. You know, to try and get the organization functioning better internally. Of course, you have the technical people. So I don't do a lot of the technical work. You know, the technical committee chairs there, the board, you know, and they deal with that. But just really from the organizational point of view, I was trying to assist with that.
Yeah. All right. So we know. Tell us the misconception of the JFF from the outside to the inside, because you know we on the outside we tend to always
criticize
the first
or
people who do
scrutinize.
We'll lash out at the president. We'll lash out at you, of late. So tell us what we don't know and what we don't know, what is happening and taking place in the background.
But you know, I really appreciate that question because a lot of people don't ask it.
Yeah.
Even the view I had before is different. The JFF is a really huge organization. There's a lot of money that runs through it. There's a lot of activity that takes place, right? And even this year has been the busiest year ever for the JFF. The first thing is that what a lot of people don't realize is the amount of money it costs to run these things, right? So a match, like if I bring a team here, it won't cost me about up to $40 million each part, right? Yeah. When you think about, for example, when we sent the girls from Amsterdam to Australia, that was $370,000 for the US for the airfare alone. We're not talking about baggage fees. We're not talking about accommodation or none of those things, right? And when you think about what we've been doing, we've had activities almost every month. In September, we had 3 matches. This month, we have 2 matches. Next month, we have about 3 matches, right? Each one of them takes, the organization that it takes to do one of them is tremendous. You're talking about weeks of organization just to get to a match. And the challenge with not just football, but sporting organizations in the region, the Caribbean region in particular, is that we don't generate enough money to deal with the activities, because the fan base is not like the US, where when you have a match, the whole stadium sell off. Right? That doesn't happen here, right? We don't get the stadium for free.
Oh, okay. So you mean in terms of we don't have that support?
No. In terms of revenues that we get from matches, for example, that our revenues don't cover our costs, right? So the first thing is that it is a tremendously costly exercise, right? The second thing is that when you talk about the cost, so you look on the balance sheet and see that JFF has cash, but its funding is sent for specific things. So I will have a fund to move a cup, for example, but I have a need elsewhere to move a table. I can't use that money, right? Because it is projectized, and a lot of people don't realize JFF is probably under more scrutiny than many companies in Jamaica.
Definitely.
FIFA audits us every year, right? We also have to account every month for the funds and how it is spent, right? We also have our external audit, right? So we have a very robust system. So when people talk about, oh, the money is stolen, that rhetoric is coming from the incident with FIFA and the set data thing. But it's very, if you to move money out of JFF is worse than government.
Okay.
And we know JFF is always in the spotlight because football is the world sport.
The other thing though is that the people within the organization, right? You have some tremendous people there. Right? People don't recognize the amount of work that goes on in there, right? And when people talk, I hear people and most people talk without knowledge, and most people talk without even thinking about what they're saying because of the emotions involved in it.
Hold on, Mr. Chung, 1 second. But one of also the issues that I hear a lot of people having with the JFF is the communication part, the lack of communication. Is that because of the workload and you don't have enough staff?
Well, we do need to improve the communication. And you'd have seen, since I've been there, we have put a website, functioning website in place. Yeah. And we've ramped up the social media, right? And we do constant press releases. So I don't think, to be honest with you, I don't think that the JFF, somebody else came on. Yeah, I don't think that the JFF does not communicate. What I think is that a lot of people don't read and listen to releases. Yeah. Right. So the release, for example, that we issued the other day, even though we issued that, people are still talking about other things. And the problem is that because the football is such an emotional thing, people speak with a lot of emotions. Yes, right, yes. And they don't read the thing. So I mean, like one vlogger, for example, I heard him, MG, right, and he said he's a lawyer, and he said when he read the release, it gave him a different perspective. But a lot of people don't read it and understand this. As I said to someone the other day, when someone outside of JFF on media talks, it doesn't have consequences. When I talk, it has consequences, legal and otherwise.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So I have to be careful about what I say. But if people read between the lines of what I say, they will understand. But a lot of people don't do that. And people think it's just an easy thing. So, you know, when people talk about somebody missing a flight, right? This is another thing I realized. People, even in their personal capacity, have problems with flights all the while, you know.
Yes, of course. Yes.
Right? And I am booking, right, 30 odd people coming from around the world, 2 or 3 matches a month. And I have to coordinate it with the matches that they're playing overseas, the commitments they have, hotels and all of those things, right? And if we have one situation, oh boy, there's a problem, right? We're talking about 1 out of maybe 150 situations in a month.
Yeah. Yes, everything will be exaggerated, especially if they had issues from before.
Yeah.
We understand that part as Jamaicans.
Yeah.
You understand? So, I mean, I understand
it, perfection, you know, and at the end of the day, things do happen because as I said, people miss personal flights and have trouble at airport all the while.
You have delays, you have all kind of connecting issues, all kind of issues when come on traveling.
I know, as someone who sits on boards and that sort of thing, I know that there are a lot of companies that have and have had in the past a lot of issues worse than JFF. Remember, you know, JFF now has a tax compliance certificate. How many companies or individuals can say they have a tax compliance certificate in Jamaica?
Yeah,
I understand.
Correct. Yeah. And things have to be held accountable because I said to the amount of cash flow that is going in and out of the JFF is.
All right. In the interest of time, let us move straight into the matter that's on everybody's mind. The Reggae Girlz, in terms of the money that was owed and the girls refusing to accept the call up for the match against Panama and the match against Guatemala because of funds owed. And also they claim that the lack of communication, and you hired a new head coach and it wasn't communicated to them in adequate time that they probably were expecting it and also medical staff and so on. So just go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm going to deal with the issues in quickly because for me, it is resolved. So the three issues that were pointed out was the lack of the fact that the payment wasn't made.
Yeah.
But we couldn't have made the payment, and understand JFF is a cash-strapped place. We couldn't have made the payment before we got the money. A good thing that FIFA stepped in and helped us and us gave up, and we paid it off. So everything is good. But up until that point,
was that communicated to the girls that you didn't have the money? Was that communicated to the girls?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. And we did, and you remember since I came in, we've been paying per diem every single match, In fact, we even before this we actually paid up the Olympic qualifiers per diem.
Yeah.
Right? But it's unfortunate it happened. We paid it off, right? But there was constant communication, because I personally spoke with some of them.
Yes.
Also, right? So it's unfortunate that it happened like that. But for me, the good thing is that we have now settled it, and we've settled it before. We've settled the final amounts that's come to us from FIFA. So FIFA called us and say, "Hey, we know we have an amount left. How much money do you owe to them so we can just pay that off and get it out, and then we work on the rest of it."
But why was it this late though? Why was it this late? And the World Cup finished.
All right. The reason for that is, remember that we have taxation issues to sort out. This is the unusual thing about this.
The taxation
so we had to talk
from Australia.
From the Australian government. Right.
Okay.
So we have to sort out the withholding tax, right? So the amount of money that we received, we would have paid out all the money that we owed them from last year, right? And we would have said to them, as I said, that the 20% that we have to pay, which we have it, we want to pay it, but tell us how you want it divided between everybody. They didn't come back to us and we say, okay, fine, here's a formula, this is how we do it.
Yeah.
And we sent it out like that. So we've paid that off now, right? And that's settled. So that's no longer an issue. The other two issues were, number one, the fact that they said that they were unavailable until they knew who the coaching staff was.
Yes,
right?
That's reasonable.
That's not. I don't think that's reasonable.
I don't think it's reasonable.
Yeah.
But who?
I mean, who? That doesn't happen anywhere.
No. You have
so you just show up without a coach, though.
Whoever the coach is, you have to play.
A coach would remember. I'm not saying. I'm saying. Are you available?
Staff they complained about, though. It's the whole setup. Based on the reports that we got, yeah.
I'm telling you the letter that I got, because you can speak based on what is said out there. I speak based on what is sent to me in writing.
Okay.
Right? Anyway, that's sorted out. And the truth is that we ourselves didn't know that Xavier was going to be the head coach until a few days before, because we're pursuing another option and it never got through. Right? So that's fine. The other thing, though, is that they said they wanted business class flights, right, for certain players. And my response was, we will provide the travel according to contract. The contract speaks to travel.
Yeah.
So the three things, as far as I'm concerned right now, I think the three things have been addressed.
Yes.
Right. And where my focus is now is on the women who are now in the national senior team.
Yeah.
So we understand that they were suspended. The girls who refused the call up, they were suspended.
No, we didn't suspend. We suspended the selection process.
The selection process. Okay. Okay. So you're saying that, so the Reggae Girls, the original set of girls, will they be called back?
Well, there's a process, there's a grievance procedure process that's in the contract. And we're saying that we need to go through that procedure, because, we're hearing a lot of things that are said out there that there's disgruntlement, and we don't have it in writing. The procedure says write to us on the specific things that you have, and then we will address those things, and we can form a committee, and it says how the committee is to be formed. So we're going to go through that, and once that's go through. I mean, we're home. We want to go through it as quickly as possible.
Yes.
So that we can settle it. And as I said, we have a functioning team in place, and we will, when those things are settled, we obviously will look at whatever pool of players are out there and call them up as is needed.
Okay, because I tell you this, you see these girls, them start is them why I must start come back to the stadium for watch football. The Reggae Girls. So I hope that you guys really sort that out, because I'm a fan.
I don't deal with the technical issues, eh?
Yeah.
So right, I don't select people and all of that. The only thing I do is the administrative thing.
Yeah.
So the technical people will sort that out.
Yeah, that's on the selection committees end to do that.
Yeah.
So we understand that you have an election. You guys have an election coming up. Win or lose, will you remain on board with the JFF if asked to?
Well, the position of GenSec is neutral,
Okay. Yeah, man, we understand that.
What I do is I have a contract in place, and I have certain role under the Constitution. My role primarily under the Constitution with regards to election is to receive the applications as spelled out in Articles 12 and 13, and turn them over to the board. I have no discretion, contrary to what some people think and say, in terms of who I recommend to the board. I don't even recommend. I just send them to them and say, this is what I've received, right? This is what has been satisfied. This is what has not been satisfied. And then the board makes a decision from that. I have no other authority. People think that as GenSec, I have the authority to choose members. I don't have none of that. It is the board. And the Constitution says the board.
Not choose members, to remain a part of the organization, not to choose the members.
For me?
Yeah, that's what I said. Not to choose. No, I wouldn't expect a GenSec to choose the members. No,
I'm saying that some people out there are saying that.
Okay.
No,
I get you.
Yeah. I don't. If I remain, that's not something that has really crossed my mind. Right now, I'm just focused on getting us through this thing.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And just doing what I need to do. Right. And then we'll see what happens.
Yeah, is there a date set for the election?
No, the board sets the date.
Board sets
the date. And the board, when the board meets, the board will set the date for it.
Okay, all right, no problem. So, well, all the best, and I hope that all issues will be sorted out. As I said, I'm a fan of the Reggae Girls, and I always look forward to watch the girls play.
You're in Jamaica, right?
Yes, man.
Yeah, man. So you're coming on Sunday?
Yes, man. I'll be there, man. I'm a big supporter, I'm a very big supporter.
I can tell you, I spoke with the coach this morning, and the team played very well in Panama. Remember, they had, and this is to their credit, this team has never played together, and they had 1 hour of training the night before. 1 hour. And they did remarkably well based on that. I can tell you, when I spoke with the coach this morning, he says the team has been strengthened because 2 good players have come in, right?
Yes.
Marla Sweatman and Shanice Foster, right?
Yes.
And also they have had training time, and he says they're coming together much better now. They're much improved. So I expect a much better performance tomorrow.
And I'm happy for the coach because he's a good friend of mine.
Xavier. And let me tell you something. I have a lot of time for Xavier because he answered the call, and I think he has people have said, boy, Xavier, what has Xavier has already accomplished a whole lot,
Yes,
from Excelsior days, from way back when.
Yeah, man. Always around football.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Girls,
I mean,
especially females. Yeah.
Ever since, from
Yeah,
ever
yeah.
since. So
Help grow the sport, and I
yeah,
mean
man.
to the position we're in now. I mean,
talented too,
Yeah.
you know.
yeah,
Been do all sports, volleyball, every
And
kind.
and for what he has done in Panama, trust me, that was an exceptional thing he did.
yeah, yeah.
Yep.
All right, so we look forward to the match tomorrow, and
Dennis, before Dennis goes, I want to thank him for coming on and being forthright, because I don't think the JFF get a lot of beating from Jamaicans, you know. But
yeah,
I think we're kind of overdoing it. We're piling on top of the people, and I promise Dennis that we give him a fair shake. We need to listen to what his side of the story, because his side is just not being told. So I'm glad that you came out and faced the public. We had 37,000 people online live to listen to this interview.
Okay.
yeah,
Man, no problem.
yeah,
Anytime.
man. Thanks for taking the time out, and I mean, all the best in the endeavors, and I mean, from strength to strength for you and the JFF team.
Yeah, man, and I look for you tomorrow, and we know we're going to be out there supporting the girls.
Yeah, man, definitely, man.
Of course. All right, thank you, Mr.
All right,
Thank you,
man.
Mr. Chung.
All right, good.
That was Dennis Chung, General Secretary of the JFF. Yeah.
Yes, interesting. We all know that. We all know this though, because there's always things in the background that the general public won't know.
And JFF is a business, an organization, and no matter what, you have ups and downs, you have decisions to make that not everybody will appease to, but in the end.
And he was brought on board in the last one.
I think last year, October 2022.
To help out. So I don't think him really have any, you know, as him says, he's remain neutral and try to do.
And do his job and do his role.
Course,
and as I said, it's a business and it have to run like a business. And just going forward, the performance and the fees, I hope the business side don't affect the performance on the field. And going forward, somebody has to play.
Yes.
Yeah.
We know it. But everybody, you know what time it is now?
Yeah.
It is time for sports commentary with a controversial one.
Out of studio
Mr.
today,
P,
but
out of studio. I don't know where you are in the world, but it's your time. I know the people waiting, you know. What you have to say?
Howdy. How y'all doing? Greetings. I'm here in it's not quite cold yet, but I'm enjoying the autumn in Nashville, Tennessee. And I gotta say, guys, my mother used to say something, you know. There are three sides to every story, and we saw a different side of the story today, and I want to congratulate again Mr. Dennis Chung for at a time when everybody beating up on the man come forward and just talk forthright and explain the situation. I mean, even you guys you would have changed your perception of what it is like to try to run the JFF.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Or even the General Secretary post.
Yeah, but this is not the time for that kind of analysis. This is a time for primal sports commentary. So I said the TJ, a DJ TJ, the drift, the uptown boss, TJ, by a Benz that is worth in Jamaica $38 million.
Wow.
You guys heard that? He bought a Benz for $38 million. It's all over social media. And they asked TJ. Well, TJ went on and, he said that he thought that buying this Benz would inspire the youths of Jamaica. Strive. You can achieve what you will and work hard, play harder, and so on. A lot of people are saying, TJ, you deserve the Benz. And I agree with him. The TJ, the Benz, which is a black AMG Benz, is a peach to watch. It's a beauty to drive. I don't own one. I hope to own one at some point. Maybe this show becomes a little more popular. We could probably afford one of the TJ Benz. But already I see it inspiring people. Dale, have you been inspired by the TJ Benz? And Kane, have you been inspired? Because I saw it. Okay, but it's a black Benz, and it is inspiring all Jamaicans to strive. One of the people who was inspired is a madman who go down South Avenue the other day and jump in one similar AMG Benz, 38 million. Sneak past security and rammed it into the gate trying to drive it out. Like TJ, he was trying to drift out of the place. But the gate stopped him. I don't know what to make of it. Speaking of stoppages, tonight's bout, Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou. I hope I can see it in Nashville. If I was in Jamaica, I could see it. But you know, Tyson is going to fight against Francis Ngannou. He's from Cameroon. Huge guy, probably weigh close to 300 pounds, fighting against Tyson. If one of those hammers from Francis Ngannou hit Tyson, it will be good night, sweet prince. But I don't think so. I think Ngannou is a ugly puncher. He swings even wilder than George Foreman used to swing. And I think that Tyson is going to hit him with those straight punches and stay close to him. And I think that it's going to be good night to Francis very early in the fight. He's going to get tired. Most of these fighters cannot throw punches afterwards. When you punch with 8-ounce, 12-ounce gloves, it's a hell of a thing. But I believe the straight punches of Tyson Fury will end the night very soon for Francis Ngannou, who has managed, like Conor McGregor, to trick the crowd that a boxer, that a UFC MMA fighter can beat a boxer at boxing. I just don't know when it's going to end. I think this will probably be the last one of these bouts. I saw Jamaica Reggae Girlz play against Panama, and it was a valiant effort by the young, inexperienced girls. But I saw two things that I saw a brilliant save by the Jamaica goalkeeper, long-range shot, that she dived and tipped the ball over the goal. But alas, even though Jamaica Reggae Girlz' goal was a very good tap-in from a good move, something that I don't see Bunny Shaw doing. I don't see Bunny Shaw scoring any goals. But the Reggae Girlz scored a very good goal against Panama. However, there's an own goal that Jamaica scored. It should have been at the other end of the park. It's the best looking own goal I've ever seen. The lady dived a full 10 feet, horizontal, like Ibrahimovic or one of these strikers, to head the ball into her own goal. Best own goal I've ever seen. I hope this makes the highlight real, as far as I'm concerned. Congratulations to Felix Lebrun, penholder table tennis player from France. At 17 years old, he has become the youngest player to ever make the top 10 of the world. Did you know that, Kane?
No, I didn't know that.
Wait, somebody
told
me about LeBron. Yes. He's finally in the top 10 at 17 years, which puts him behind Harimoto, who made the top 10 at 14 years and 10 months, and Fan Zhendong, two great players, who made it at 16 years and 5 months. So, I mean, LeBron actually won WTT Antalya, beating Ovcharov in the finals in a close match. But at the same time, I never thought a European playing penhole, not even a Chinese, a European playing penhole would now reach the top 10 of the world playing this very awkward style. I could coach against him, because it apparently is the newness of it that's giving everybody trouble. Because everybody seems to play to his backhand, which for penholers is the weak side. But for this particular guy, his backhand is amazingly strong. And he's beating, even Calderano, the man beat in backhand exchanges. That's not something easy to do. Kane Watson used to have one of the strongest backhands when 20 pounds ago. He used to have a strong backhand. I hope you come back one day, Kane, because backhand is the thing nowadays. Now, Leon Bailey seems to be picking up his scoring boots. I've noticed Leon Bailey on the right side of the score sheets of late. What is happening to Leon Bailey? I've given up on Leon, and all of a sudden I see Leon scoring for Jamaica, scoring for Aston Villa, and all this kind of thing. I think it's a good sign. Another good sign is, believe it or not, in basketball, Trinidad and Tobago beat Brazil to reach the medal round, to reach the semi-final round at the Pan Am Games in 3x3 basketball. It's not quite basketball. It's like curry court. Yeah, it's a
T20 basketball.
It's like a T20 basketball. But nonetheless, Trinidad reached semis and we didn't reach it. So all praises to Tinga. Now I want to talk about one thing. We Jamaicans, we are known for being the people who stand up for your rights, my brother. We are the people who get up, stand up. We don't give up the fight. Equal rights and justice shall prevail once you have Jamaicans. Everywhere I go, all over the world, people look at me and say, Bob Marley, freedom fighter. Michael Manley, freedom fighter. Is that a fair assessment, guys? Jamaicans, we're leaders. We're natural front runners. We run the show. As far as it goes. In the Caribbean, I see this lady, Motley, trying to take leadership. Jamaicans, we're the leaders. We run the Caribbean. And so, the other day, there's a big war going on between Hamas and Israel. Big war going on. People being killed. About 1,000 Israelis have been killed. And the Israelis said, boy, we're going at this thing with mega force. The Israelis have been hitting back at even civilian targets. They've been hospitals, all this kind of thing they've been hitting at. And we need Jamaica to say something, right? Right, guys? Right? So Jamaica, the United Nations got together and said we need to have a ceasefire so we can stop the killing, stop the murder, stop the rape, stop the kidnapping, fair position. And so the United Nations, everybody came together to vote and say we need to have a ceasefire, at least for humanitarian reasons. So when the vote was being done now, the vote was done. 170 odd countries in the world voted. And USA side, which is always with Israel, they have 14 votes. The other side, which is, we're saying, Palestine, we don't need to stop the fighting. Everybody needs to stop the fighting. And then when we check up every country, Israel, Japan, Jordan, Kazakhstan, Malta, and so on, nobody couldn't find Jamaica vote. Where was Jamaica vote? Jamaica made no vote. Jamaica said they were busy considering the situation. Rumor have it that the Honorable Foreign Affairs Minister was in the bathroom, and Jamaica made no vote. The land of the freedom fighter. I'm proud to be a Jamaican, but that was not our proudest moment. That's sports commentary. What say you?
Right, I heard about the non-vote from Jamaica.
You never shout on controversy.
Yeah, they want to stop the war and the fighting.
Yeah, but on a serious note though, yeah, we're not on the side of anybody being killed, whether it's for peace, land, oil, whatever the case is.
That's a war that's been going on for decades upon decades, man. This was from 1950s.
But guys, it's a ceasefire. We're supposed to vote for it. Just a ceasefire. We wouldn't even vote.
That's not even a vote, eh?
Not even a vote, but I would put my vote in a ceasefire because, I mean, I think there's some other way they can resolve the matter, but a lot of innocent people dying, and I mean, most of these people fighting the war from the mansions up in the hills or a different country, but yeah, it's tough. It's a tough situation down there in the Middle East, in Palestine, is the Gaza Strip.
The Gaza Strip. Yeah. Anyway, people, do remember WhatsApp line is now open. 1-876-552-7406. That's 1-876-552-7406.
Yeah.
It's time to call in.
Yeah, we want to hear your views. I mean, we just had a amazing interview.
Chung?
And the Reggae Girls.
Yep.
I mean, the Reggae Boys as well. And you know, even all what's going on, we hope it turn up for the match tomorrow against Guatemala, because the girls need the support. And not only the girls, when the Reggae Boys play as well. So once a football team is out there, need to show our support, because at the end of the day, we want to win, and Jamaica this. And as Peter said, we're proud to be Jamaicans. So hope the girls them come out tomorrow, and I said with more training under them belt, get to know each other better. And
as I said, Xavier I think Xavier was a part of the staff with Donaldson, and Xavier is a good coach. I know him personally for
Guatemala
years.
Tomorrow, I expect a win. Hopefully we'll get a W. It's going to be tough, and we want to give them more time, but
and once we get the W, we're still in the running for the qualification,
man.
So that's the most important
and we have to defend
now.
the office, and we're at home. So we need that 13th man in the crowd, 12th man, sorry.
12
and 13th man in the crowd. 12, 13, 14 in the crowd, and boost up the girls' morale and go out there and get a W. So that's on the card slated for tomorrow. So gentle people of the time, make it your way on down to the stadium. Jamaica Reggae Girls against Guatemala. Yeah. Last week, Dale, we touched on, we spoke about the mercy point. Remember last week we talked football.
Prep school football here, right, in Jamaica?
Yeah. We surprisingly, this week now we see we're in football. Mona Prep.
Jisa, announce a rule.
But before them announce rule, because they announce rule after.
Yeah.
But Mona Prep beat Gordon's Memorial Prep 46-0 in a football match. prep school league. Wow. There's many sides to look at it, but
which side? My take on it is a sport you're competing. It is what it is.
It is what it is. So you're saying give them 47, give them 48,
give them
50, give them 100 love.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. Remember, a lot of these kids can look back many years from now and say, I played prep school football. I played some form of football when I was young. It is what it is. It's sports. It's about competing.
I played for Gardens Memorial.
Yeah, maybe these kids are just starting out in football, and it's an experience,
That's not a good experience at that age. That can be traumatizing. I don't think any of those people go have a football career.
To be honest with you,
it's an underdog story.
When you're young, sometimes you're just having fun. Especially if you have a good coach. If you have a good coach, and the expectations is a problem. Once you balance that part out, I think that they don't have to be traumatized by getting 46 loves. It's just a learning experience.
But even so, I'm looking at it also. What if you were the coach of the Mona Prep football team?
Yeah.
What would you tell the kids to do?
I'll find things for them to work on. Obviously, I would say, listen, guys, let us knock the ball around.
That's exactly what I tell them. 46 love is
find things to work on.
It's savage. 46 love is savage, bro. It's savage.
When any of my players playing a play and obviously the player can't play, I'm not going to tell them to compromise their game because it's a development process.
No, they have to work on stuff.
So as I said,
work on your serve.
Work on your control.
Yeah. Work on your serve.
Work on
your drop shot.
Yeah, something, but I wouldn't tell them,
I wouldn't tell them to give them 11 love.
Exactly my point. But this continue. But from my perspective, that coach from Mona could have gone about it in a different way.
Yes,
that's my thing.
Yes.
46 love.
To score 46 goals. I mean,
but Coach King,
that's probably a goal a minute.
Maybe the coach want the forward to get some confidence. Work on your goal scoring. It is what it is. It's a competition. I wouldn't even stop this model cuddling.
Model cuddling. I've asked Peter. Peter already know.
No, man.
Model cuddling.
No, man. It's competition. It's sport. Yes, I see NBA players fighting because people running up the score. Well, stop them from scoring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that's professionals.
That's what professionals are doing. Come on, it's a competition.
But remember, you have something called within the spirit of the sport. The
spirit?
Yeah. Listen, 46 is love.
I understand what you're saying, but suppose if the coach wanted to work a specific striker to work on the goal scoring, I would say fine.
Or in free kick. You probably score 20 free kick.
It's perfectly okay. It's a sport. No, the rule that
it's not illegal. It's just unsportsmanlike.
I don't.
You don't think it's unsportsmanlike?
No, it depends on what the coach is asking his players to do. If it's to pass the ball around, if it's to practice your goal scoring, because you need some confidence on when you're gonna play against Lanamans next week. You know what I mean? It all depends on the context where you're looking at. Maybe if the coaches have them just run up the score without no base behind it, maybe. But for me, it's a competition. Play the game. Play the game. And I suggest I have this rule, the mercy rule.
There's a mercy rule now.
About last week. I think it's something like if you go on 12, both coaches can decide whether they want to continue the game. What if you get 12 within 5 minutes? And you travel all this way to go and play, you tell them to stop? It's an experience, it's a learning experience as well for both teams. So you play ball. What kind of mercy rule is this now?
Yeah.
And then those that score, if they continue playing and if you score more than I think if you're going past the 12 and they decide to continue, those goals won't be accounted for. It's like you're just scoring for no reason. It won't be a part of the stat sheet.
But you still get in your practice though. Yeah.
You get in it. Well, you can look at it from that angle.
So Dale have a question. You're saying then that Jamaica, Israel is currently bombarding Hamas, and you're saying that there should be no mercy rule.
Peter, war and sports is separate. That is separate. That is separate.
Sports is life, though.
Sports is almost war.
Yeah, sports is almost war.
If you really look at the heart of it, is war. But let us not confuse that thing. No, that's taking away our life.
In my opinion, guys, let me tell you something. You have a choice. If we had gone there when the voting was going on and said we abstained from voting, at least you know your position. But Jamaica was the only country that was not there when the votes were being counted out. Our foreign affairs minister was possibly in the bathroom. And I don't think that's a good look.
Well, that is true. That is true.
And also, you see where Homewood defeated, who was it? Belfield, 80-11 in netball. Netball is a different nature in netball, of nature of sport. But 80-11
in netball.
In 80-11 netball.
So my solution.
But if you can't score in netball, you can't score in netball.
Have divisions then. Have divisions. I have a qualification thing before you can actually get in.
But supposed to get 80-11 in the division for qualifying. Suppose this was a qualification.
Well, it's a part of the process.
So who would defeat Belfield 80-11 in netball?
I don't know.
But even so, in netball, you can't stop scoring because it's a fast-paced game. You have to keep moving. It's not like you can knock the ball around and move the ball. You can, in a sense. And I mean, if Belfield can't score, then so be it. You practice and you turn over the ball. But in football, as I said, the nature of the sport is different. And 46-love, you can knock around the ball and not score. But even so, the aim of the game is to score. So I get what you're saying. It's tough. And you're out there competing.
What's the message you're sending, though?
That is my point. Where do you draw the line? As a coach, as the players out there?
What's the message that you're sending? Oh. Losing is a part of life. You have to learn to deal with it.
Yeah, you have to learn to deal with it.
Yeah, and how best through sports. It's the best way to learn it. You learn.
And we love an underdog story. Yeah, can you imagine somebody from Gordon's Memorial now become a reggae boy and
you can tell him story.
And be like, I was on that Gordon Memorial team
that got
46 love.
This is true.
Yeah.
You're part of history.
Or I was a part netball team. I was a part of that Belfield netball team that got 80 love and then become one of the best netballers for Jamaica.
Motivation to get better.
I hope they don't go home and be like
the high school team early on. It's motivation. You have to teach. As a matter of fact, when you lose early, you become winners later. In most areas, the people who lose early normally become they're the ones.
So you don't think there's sort of some sportsmanship, like if you be like, all right, don't run up the score?
Maybe, but as I said, maybe you have some form of qualification.
Can you imagine now?
Tier 1, tier 2 kind of thing.
Can you imagine in cricket now, the team bowling, you bowling first and you bowl out the team for 0. Or you're going to say, don't bowl them out for 0, make them get a run. You can't tell a bowler enough to bowl and get wickets. But in football, it's different though. But in 46 love, rough.
Yeah. 46 I think it was before even halftime. Some score was something like some ridiculous score. Whoa. So it's obvious it's some beginners playing. So that is it. That is it. So that's that. But I don't agree with no mercy rule. They should remove that. It's not a good thing in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean
you're messing with football.
Because as I say, what are you going to do after 12? Just play out the match and no goals will count. But what if the other team scores now? You have 12 love and you're running up the score, but then the other team score 1. So you're gonna be like 12-1? I mean, or 12-2 when the score is probably 46-2. But 46 love rough still. But now like there's a thin line between sportsmanship and we always want to say even when you're teaching youngsters, you have to show sportsmanship and respect for others. And even so, I mean, you're out there to score goals. And you want,
something just popped in my mind a while ago, something just popped. What were your thoughts on the same line? Maradona with the handball in 19.
Unsportsmanship like conduct. Mm-hmm.
That was unsportsmanlike.
Yeah.
Maradona.
Yes.
The hands are God.
Yes. That's why they have VR now.
Yeah. That was unsportsmanlike.
Yeah, I know what I'm doing. I'm punch the ball in the neck. I'm win at all costs. Okay. Do you believe in win at all costs? Another topic. I mean, do you believe
the guy from Suarez deliberately handing the ball on the line, preventing Ghana from reaching the semi-finals of the World Cup.
Get a red card and get one forget.
And then the guy missed the penalty to win the match.
Hey, it's not my fault he missed the penalty.
Say that the same as Maradona? No? Deliberately
the ball
went in the goal.
Maradona score with him hand.
And this man preventing team from losing with a man.
Yeah. but unsportsmanship.
Froggy, what you over there quiet? What do you think about Maradona goal? You think that was unsportsmanlike? It was within the rules, you know.
Within what rules? To punch the ball.
The ref didn't see it.
So do you believe in win at all costs? Do you believe in win at all costs?
I believe in within the limits of the rules.
Okay, but handling the ball is not within the rules. That's illegal.
It's up to the referee to call it.
Yeah, but if him don't see it, he can't catch. He's human.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's still within the rules, in my opinion.
Once the ref don't see it.
Yeah.
So I can punch you in your gut, and if the ref don't see it,
it's within the rules.
That's not within the rules. That's.
So I think, Frog, it was unsportsmanlike, right?
So all is fair in love and war.
It's borderline.
All is fair in love and war. Win at all costs.
No, I don't mean it like. Don't get me wrong. I don't mean it, but I think
no. Some people have that view. Win at all costs.
Yeah. So you think that the hands, which one worse, preventing the goal or scoring the goal?
Obviously scoring the goal.
Okay.
Because they put the team at advantage. When you handle the ball now, you know, Suarez get a red card, you know.
Yeah.
You're one man down.
Penalty.
Penalty is not. Why in the fault he missed the penalty?
Okay. All right.
So.
But I have another question before we move on to Fraggy. In a penalty shootout situation in football, who ultimately decides the winner?
What do you mean? Who misses? If you miss?
No, is it the defensive player or the offensive player?
Repeat the question. Who
decides the outcome in a penalty shootout?
Who decides the outcome?
Yeah.
The penalty taker.
The penalty taker decides the outcome?
I mean, because him kicking the ball.
You think so?
Yeah.
Froggy, what do you think? You think it's a penalty taker too?
I mean, the keeper is there to save it, but I mean, the ball is coming at him.
I look at it this way. What if no goalkeeper was in the goal? You think anybody would have missed?
Yeah.
If there's a roll of ball that straight, you think a professional player, will actually miss that penalty with no goalkeeper in the goal?
It is possible.
What's the probability that happened?
It's very slim. Very slim. Very slim.
So from that
look at this point of view as well.
Yeah.
How can the ball score if nobody don't kick it? So if the goalkeeper in the goal and nobody don't kick the ball,
yeah.
How the goal going to score? But you can miss if you kick it and nobody in the goal.
Who forced you to miss?
I mean, you just miss.
Who forced you to miss? That's my point. That's the next point.
Who forced you to miss?
Yeah, who forced
you probably force yourself to miss. Because your nerves bubble yourself. So if no keeper in the goal, there is probability of you missing, you know. But you can't save a ball that is not kicked.
Yeah. That is true too.
So you can't save a ball that is not kicked.
Yeah, man. So, I think ultimately though, I think the goalkeeper is who really decides the outcome of a penalty. But we can say that for a discussion.
The penalty taker decides.
All right, people. It's now time for Froggy in 5.
Greetings again, people. Again, listeners out there in Trelawney Fit FM, viewers on Facebook. We're all here together as one again. First of all, let's big up Dela Palmer. Remember a couple weeks ago I had spoken about her and their little fiasco with the Federation of the Cycling Federation. Apparently, she's in the Pan Am Games and she placed 3rd in her race. So we have to really give a thumbs up to her, and I hope the producer can get a little insight and try to get her on the show next week or even the week after. Peter?
Yeah, we try to get the hookup.
Yeah, we try to get the hookup and just for her to share her experience and all of that. But you know, my hot topic is the Reggae Girlz. You guys have been asking for it for a while now, and the recent strike by them, should they have done what they have done? And for me, I would say it's borderline, but at the end of the day, persons are being paid to play, whether it's for your country or for your club. Regardless of the situation, if you're owed, you're owed. If you should be paid, you should be paid. Being that said, my question is it the country that owes the players or the players that owes the country? Because in my hindsight, I'm seeing players out there who are playing for clubs who have never represented their country. And I'm seeing players who are representing their country and don't have a club. So who is in the right? And for me, I do believe that the players they do have the upper hand because they are out there, they are showcasing their talent, regardless of them being called up for a country or not. Clubs came out there, they saw them playing for whoever they were playing for, scouted them, they became international names. And it's we, the country, who go out there and ask for them to come and play for us. Not them say, I want to play for Jamaica. I remember how we scouted Liam Bailey for, 2-3 years? Just to come and play for Jamaica. And there was this animosity between Bailey's camp and JFF, why he's not playing, until finally he's now playing. And is he giving Jamaica what we asked for? I would say no. The same goes for the Reggae Girlz. We have gone out there, we have scouted all these girls and asked them to come and play for us. And it's due right unto us that we give back to them. We should have made this process for them a little bit more easier, for we can invite others, even though I'm against the whole invitation thing. But if you're going to be inviting persons to come and play for us, then we should have allowed this process to be a little more formal, communication be laid out, let everybody understand where they are, rather than this fiasco. It's not just bad in Jamaica's eye, but when you go on even BBC, you're seeing where Jamaican females strike because of not being paid. It doesn't look good. It looks ugly. And this goes not just for football, but that's for any sport. When you reach that international level, it doesn't spell nothing good for you. Although they say no, bad publicity is bad publicity, but it doesn't spell nothing good. And I don't like it. And for me, I think the administration of the JFF, we've just heard Dennis Chung, and I understand his plight as well and how he has expressed himself. But for me, there's more to be done. It's not just on the Reggae Girlz end, it's also on the Reggae Boys side as well. So it's both sides of the fence are feeling it. JFF is always being blamed, and there's always an untold story. We have heard the girls and the boys side, we have heard JFF side. No, it's the truth. And the truth is what we'll never get to see, because somebody has to come and tell us what is the truth now. We're only hearing from both sides. So I think it's a clean house. JFF is a business, likewise any other administration out there, they are business. And you have to run it accordingly. You have to be formal, you have to be communicating with the persons out there. Let them understand where you are, and don't give them a run around. Don't say one thing and then the girls are saying another thing, and then you say, no, we didn't say this. It doesn't spell anything good. And the same thing regarding communication and appointment of persons. The Xavier Gilbert appointment, I am not so happy with it, because he's also one of the Premier League coaches. He coaches Arnett Gardens. And to have an Arnett Garden coach coaching also a national team, for me, it's a conflict. Which one of these teams will he be more focused on? Would he be focused on Arnett Gardens, or will he be more focused on the Reggae Girlz? Yes, the Reggae Girlz is like once every 3 months or so. But you still have to be focused on these teams. They tried it already with Jerome Waite and the same Arnett Gardens team. They placed him on the under-23 team, also placed him as assistant coach in the national program. And it didn't fare out well, because half the time when he should be in the national setup, he has to be coaching the Premier League. And sometimes he has to leave the Premier League team to go to the national team. So that appointment, to me, I think they need to find persons, not just in administration, but also coaching-wise, persons who are willing to spend time doing what they're being asked to do. Not just to fit in here and fit in there, but spend time on this particular job. And that's the only way I think administrations and persons in general can go forward. How do you feel if Kane was playing table tennis and football at the same time?
I could. I think
he had to focus on one, And which one will he focus on more? Which one is giving him the money? I'm sure of that.
Yeah,
So I think we need to just look at that. When appointing persons, find persons who are fitted for the job and who are willing to do the job and give their utmost. And that's how I think administrations can move forward. That's my take.
That was Froggy in 5.
Well said, Froggy. I have 2 things I want to say about what you just said a while ago. The club and country. Xavier Gilbert being a club coach, and then being appointed to run the football Reggae Girlz. I don't think within Jamaica, it's very difficult within such a small country for me. You're gonna have conflict of interest because you see it with even Rudolph Speed. He's a part of Cavaliers, right?
Yeah.
And also the JFF. And a lot of people would have said that, boy, you can push forward your clubmate to be selected based on that inside link. But with Xavier now, is it maybe he has given up his position as a club coach now?
Still the club coach of
it's going to be a problem because if you're going to run the national team, it's very hard to run your club team at the same time, especially it's very difficult. So you raise a good point there. It's going to be difficult. So I think maybe over time he will have to choose one.
Yeah.
You will definitely have to choose one, and you have to choose a national program because it can't be just your club that you focus on. You'd have to be focusing on all the clubs throughout the island in terms of selection and finding talent and so forth. So I understand that, but let us be fair now. Not fair. Let us start the truth, I should say. Do you think the Reggae Girlz really strike over money?
No.
We all know it's not really money.
No.
It's not money. They have an issue with maybe
they want to get people out.
Yeah, they have an issue with one or two people. They had an issue with even the firing of the coach. I know that they had an issue with that, not renewing the contract, I should say. They did not renew his contract. And Bonnie Shaw, and right after they reached to the round of 16 at the World Cup, they came on here talking about they had to do a GoFundMe in order to reach where they reached. And another girl came out and came out in an interview right after the match in why they didn't. Some people don't believe in us, but well, we stick together. We believe in ourselves. So it's not about the money. I think the money is just a small thing, and they use that to create a bigger issue.
I think it's more of the administration and communication.
They have a problem with
how things are being run without them knowing.
I think they have a problem. It's not the money. It's not the money. It's not the money. It's bigger than the money. It's bigger than the money. I don't think it's the money. Yeah. But
even so, even the Reggae boys have problems with the association.
Yes.
But I mean, it's
a couple of the footballers talk. Chung alluded to the traveling in terms of they want to travel business class, and one of the Reggae boys said they are professional players. They can't be traveling in the
economy
and because the seats is too close for them legs and they need but it's probably true because that's how they travel. That's how they travel in Europe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They travel with space.
Yeah.
So why they don't just book a smaller plane?
Big clubs have.
But when you're traveling and you're tall and you put them itch up, and by the time you get up you have pain in your knee, you have all kind of pain. So maybe as professional players the traveling probably have to be different.
Yeah.
But what's the cost difference though between economy and regular?
Remember they strap for cash too, they don't have said they don't have the money like that. So
because one time I thought first class was like out there, and buying a plane ticket and I look at the difference.
Player, no. It's not one player. So it adds up.
I remember it's a team, and a team of
you don't get a discount.
30 discount. Airline want them money, you know.
Frequent flyers.
Yeah, but even so, 30 players coming from all over the world. I mean, there will be some logistics problems here and there, but we only hear about few instances. What about all instances that run good? People get on time, everything runs smooth.
That's what
but the question I would want to ask Dennis Chung, if it's costing the JFF so much to fly players from overseas to come here and represent us, why are we not using more local players?
I mean, you want the results.
Oh no, you want
and
the
those
results.
players need caps. You have to represent your country as well, to get into professional setup and stay there. You have to represent the country.
Yeah, but you can minimize the amount. The current setup right now, how many?
But then again, going forward, you want the right players to play.
They're trying to qualify for World Cup.
And
the
then
objective
again,
is World Cup.
Cohesiveness. You have to play together. You have to have the squad.
So they're making that sacrifice.
I remember Rene Simoe said the team and then play a lot of matches together. They stay in camps and then get to know each other better. Carl Brown said the same thing. Yeah. When you see the football start moving forward is when the cohesion in the team, the unit, everybody working together. So when you pick him for and come and then next week, next time around, him not come. You have to know your teammate. So
they have to
come and play.
Ball, you know, you have to know the moves that they like. You know what I mean? It's not just extra.
Sometimes you just square the ball because you know, so, all right, Shamar Nicholson.
Always that
spot and I go show up.
Yeah,
not that he does, but just I said.
With even the Reggae Girl situation, when the so-called suspended
the
players.
Reggae Girls taking this overboard a little bit. You don't think they demand too much?
I think they're kind of abusing the power that they have to, but yet still you have to stand for something. So then again, the point where we're at now, will they play for Jamaica again?
That's the question I want to ask. Will they bring them back?
No.
So we're getting a result tomorrow. We're going to win in the stadium tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then these girls moving forward want to play as well, and they represent the country. So one thing, somebody have to go there and play.
I'll be unhappy if they don't bring back the girls.
Never said it before.
Bring back. Suppose the girls don't want to come back, and then you have to fight for your spot. You have to qualify for.
They want international.
Of course.
Recognition. Of course. But
the thing is, if you say you're not playing now, and then other people playing and performing, it's not like you're going. Or you go have. It's not individual sport where you're going to have a chance and be like, all right, I come back now and I beat everybody.
If the girls then perform tomorrow.
If the girls then perform, I keep performing and show, so they've been at the team now. And then you on your high chair and say, oh, I don't have to come play. And be like, well, my player, I score 3 goals, or my man, or what have you.
So you feel like that the girls overstepping a little bit? They're abusing the power?
A bit.
Because
at the end of the day, you know, you can say, all right, I'm not playing for Jamaica. No? Jamaica can say, fine. Somebody have to go, and you find a 23-man, woman squad to go out there now and play. So when the chips are down, you know,
So let me ask you something. This is the next thing I want to say. He said that I wasn't in agreement with what he said. If you call me to say, I must know who the coach is.
Yeah.
You can't invite me as a professional to come somewhere not knowing who the coach is.
No, Dale, I have to disagree with that. I disagree.
No, you can disagree.
Wait.
Let me just disagree, but I'm not as a professional going to take and go somewhere not knowing where I'm going and who is going to be the coach. I have to know who the coach is.
I don't think you have to.
No.
You're going to get a call up blindly. Just come.
And what if you don't like the coach?
Huh?
What if you don't like another player?
What if you don't like another player? It's not as if there's no coach. They fired a coach.
They hired a coach.
They did not renew the coach's contract. It's in the girls' right to ask who is the coach.
You can ask.
No, but
you can ask, but you cannot pick the coach.
Because it's an international window and they have a match to play.
I would not show up. I don't think that's.
If you don't show up, you're not going to play for Jamaica again.
You're telling me that is a professional approach. Inviting a professional to come somewhere.
Of course.
After they don't renew a coach, come somewhere not knowing who the staff is, the medical staff, not knowing anything.
Hold on, Dale. We're picking a table tennis. Hold on, my brother. We're picking a table tennis team to play Jamaica. You coach one player, I coach another, and somebody else coach another player. You're saying the players get together and say, well, we want to know who is going to be the coach before we decide to play.
You think that's how professionals work, Peter?
But then again,
yes, I know professionals.
I disagree with you. I've never heard that.
But I'm saying though.
You're gonna just
but what I'm saying, even if you're coming to play, no, but I'm saying you're coming to play. I've never heard that before. You're coming to play. Does it matter who the coach is?
Of course it matters.
That means if I don't like the coach, that means I'm not going to come?
No, that don't mean anything, but
no, but I'm saying...
There's no coach at the moment.
But something fell through. They were looking at a coach to get a coaching. It didn't work out. They're still looking for a coach.
It is
unprofessional. It is unprofessional because you don't get the coach yet. But yet still me as a player coming, I am coming to play.
It's unprofessional. No.
And plus, you can't tell me.
You have to know,
you cannot tell me say you're not going to come.
The staff is the first thing that you have assembled.
Well,
staff.
But guess what?
Not the players.
But guess what?
But
guess what? Don't come and play.
No, that's unprofessional.
No, you don't come and play and see what happens.
That's unprofessional.
Peter,
that's why they're going to go
you don't come and play. And you see what happened if you go into play.
I think the Reggae girls want to do selection.
That you can call a player. You can call a player and they don't. And there's no staff.
We're looking at the staff. We're looking at the staff. We're looking at the staff. We're trying to get the staff. The staff will be named shortly.
You know what started this problem? This problem was started when the girls got rid of a coach. They did some joint action and got rid of was it Vin Blaine? They got rid of
Vin Blaine first,
Blaine. And that's a very precarious situation now when the players undermine the coach put above them, because surely they could have taken another action, a more diplomatic action. They could have gone to the administration and say, we're not going to work with this coach, right? But once you empower them to remove a sitting coach, you have empowered them there. So that's what happened. The players now feel that they can select the coach.
This league in the world, it happened. The players have the power. What's the problem?
No, that's not true.
That's not true.
That's not true.
Look on James Harden. Look at James Harden now.
All right.
Look at the situation in James Harden.
My point is though.
Look at James Harden.
Yeah, the staff is the first thing you put in place. that's my issue.
But the thing you have complications.
You
have complications.
So if the girls, if you refuse, you can't blame them. It's a staff. You have to blame yourself. It's a staff that you have to put in place first.
But they're trying to find the personnel. They're trying to find the personnel. What if you don't have the personnel? What if the personnel pull out just because they was trying to get a coach? The coach fell through.
Well, tell them that they don't have any coach. They have to come and organize their own training session.
No, but I'm going to get a coach by time. I'm going to get a coach by time I reach.
I hire you to come work for my company, and you want to know who your supervisor will be. It can't work like that. There's
that's
no
not the same. That's not the same thing, Peter. A coach is more hands-on than that.
No.
It don't matter who the coach is.
A coach is more hands-on. They're going to tell you the formation. They're going to tell you what you're going to do, what this man who's going to start. The coach is way more important.
But you're going to get a coach.
Staff and the medical staff
but you're going to
way more important.
We're going to get that.
Nonsense.
At this point in time,
nonsense.
you do not have the personnel, but by time international window comes.
You guys agree that this is something that happens all the time?
No, it's an anomaly. It's an anomaly.
Oh, it sounds like when I was agreeing.
No, but I'm just saying, I'm coming to play regardless. Yes, I want to know who the coach is. Your answer to me, we have not gotten a coach as yet, but we will by XYZ time. We wanted to get Froggy was the coach, but Froggy...
Was that communicated?
But I'm just saying, I am the player. I am the player. You tell me that there's no coach now. I'm going to be like, hey, since there's no coach, I'm not playing because...
You leave your club in Europe and you say, okay,
I'm not playing because Donaldson is not the coach anymore.
Not Donaldson, there's no coach.
There was no coach.
I'm not playing because you don't appoint a coach as yet.
You really think if you're a professional player...
No, so hold on. So you think that...
But
hold on. You think that a match is going to be played and there's no coach on the bench? If it reaches that point, no, that's where the non-professionalism... A coach can't be on the bench.
No, it's unprofessional. It's unprofessional.
It is, but I'm just saying, I'm coming to play regardless.
I'm sure most professional players would probably say, where's based on the history, maybe if it's not based on the history alone, they probably would have said, okay, let us go. But based on the history, no, they're not going to show.
Well, it's unprofessional.
No, Dale, you are so wrong on this because you have to understand, that if you don't have enough international caps, there's a limit on how many players can play in particular leagues around the world. Players love caps. Players love caps. As a matter of fact, some players insist that they be played, right? Before they get called to a team because they want to get caps. Why do you think Jamaica, what's his name? Young boy from Manchester United for the rape thing. Greenwood. Why do you think Mason Greenwood people looking to find him a chance to get to play some international ball?
Because he won't be playing for England again. Because he won't be playing for England again.
The same thing, whether you have a cap or not. If you're an international player, your dollar value is high.
No, man.
So you're telling me that a player can represent a club without caps?
A lot of players representing clubs without any caps.
Some leagues have a cap on foreign players, not asking, telling them. Of course.
Yes.
Okay.
Of course.
Mason Greenwood just want to play international football.
It doesn't matter where you play.
No.
He's not going to be playing in England anyway.
Do with caps, Peter.
What are you talking about?
No, man, not for need caps.
What do you need caps to do?
You believe that our guy who gone Saudi Arabia would have gone Saudi Arabia had he not been in the Jamaica outfit?
Point.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Because he was no man, Peter. He was transferred to Saudi Arabia before he moved to play for Jamaica,
No.
Yeah.
No, sir. No, absolutely not.
He was on the Everton.
Absolutely not.
On Everton when he played
but
for Jamaica.
the transfer was going through before he played for Jamaica.
No.
Again.
No.
There's nothing to read international caps.
And guess what? Guess what? As he's scoring, he's asking for more and more money to go to Saudi Arabia.
Yes, him can drive up.
That's correct.
But I don't.
I said everybody here agree that the girls are overstepping, except me. Slightly.
Okay, Dale, I'm gonna tell you. Let me just say one thing on the Reggae Girls. I know everybody like to throw on the misogynist tag and all this kind of thing. but you see,
who they throw the tag at?
They throw it at you guys. A little bit splash on me. Anyway, hear what up. Let us all agree that when the girls' status was elevated by virtue of the draw with France and by virtue of the fact that we got into the round of 16, our stature was elevated. Some people took the microphone as a platform.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's a matter of fact that their level of hubris, their level of the position from which they stood was a higher position. And so they feel they could talk to the world about there are going to be some changes now, Reggae Girls. That's
on
what
the high chair.
They've won the high chair.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, and it's sticking on some people's throat because you and I know that this is women's football. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know that.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
I actually enjoy watching them, so I don't agree with that. I don't agree.
I like it too. The other day I went and watched some prep school ball, and it is as much fun. There's a lot of kick up and down. When I was watching the match with Panama, it was so frustrating because they try to kick with their right foot while standing on the same foot. All kind of thing. It is amazing.
That's a joke, people. That was a joke.
Well, I mean, they're overstepping a bit, but there's a fine line sometimes of standing for your rights and yet still going against even sometimes what is contracted.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the girls want to play. And I think the major problem is they have a riff with the federation and how it is run, or probably who is in charge. And I think with a new administration,
want to get one of the girls on the show.
Yeah, we'll try that.
Maybe we can hear. We hear the admin story. We hear the girls, but not through like a platform like this.
For some reason, I don't know the girls want to take my calls. But I will try.
Yeah, man. I would like to have a talk with one of them for real. We hear with us, so we can really get a good understanding. Because we hear one side. We need to hear the other side. Even though you could probably say we hear the Reggae Girl, we don't really hear it. Yeah. We hear bits and pieces of those issues that they have, but it's always better to hear the detail, as in what's happening in the background.
Yeah.
I will try.
Yeah, man, definitely, Peter. Maybe the goalkeeper.
I have been trying.
Yeah, man. All right.
And I want to talk to her too because I think she holds the ball too long. She needs to understand the role of the goalkeeper in modern football, which is to switch to transition from defense to offense. She's not doing that. She's holding the ball too long every time she has the ball. She's lying down on the ground, lying on top of the ball too long, and it annoys me personally.
All right, Peter.
Yeah. And another topic of football, schoolboy football. Right. Second one starting today. And we see the likes of, there are 16 teams now in the round of 16 for jostle for positions in the quarterfinal group stage. So, we have the favorite.
The favorite for the Costa, we know it's Karen and College. Yeah. Who's the favorite? Got the man in
well, the number one seed, Stats is the number one seed going into the second round. But, the bookies' favorite probably have, the perennial finalists, semifinals like JC, Georges, KC. But Stats is the number one team so far, informed team so far. But
person's bashing for Heidel, why Heidel wasn't a seeded team.
Heidel came second in the group.
But they're not seeded for the second one.
No, but it's 1 to 16. All teams are seeded from 1 to 16.
No, you mean the 1 to 8 seed, the top 8 seeds.
Or the top 8.
But the top 8 have the top the group.
Yeah, they didn't top the group. They played with too many players. That's a rule. They can't have too many
They came second in the group.
Transfer players. That's the rule, right?
Yeah.
They can't have too many of them on the field at the same time.
But even so, it's in the second round, and we see where kick off today. Should have kick off earlier in the week, but due to the rain, I mean, the first leg is today, and the second leg I think it's Tuesday or Wednesday. So.
Starts ever win Manning Cup?
Yeah, of course, twice.
2 times.
2 times. 86. And I think before that, 78 or something like that. I think a 2 times them win. I've got double check about stats winning.
As long as they don't play JC them.
Well, I mean, my pick for the winning the Manning Cup is Kingston College still. So
the young team.
Young team. I mean, I know the purples always in the mix. So I'm a bit on the bias side. So I go with Kingston College. But even so, I mean, some good matches to look forward to.
Do you think they should introduce a 2-tier Manning Cup tournament?
No, I'm still playing.
Yeah, there's too much distraction.
Just like everyone 2-tier the prep school league so that nobody get 46 of.
Yeah. But I don't think the Manning Cup is that far off in terms of the team, the quality of the teams. And some teams get 7 and 8, but
you have some team who will get dumped up, man.
Like 20 and 20.
Yes, man.
Yeah, man, you have some team like Cedar Grove.
Cedar Grove.
But even so, most of the teams, but I mean,
imagine
you will drop off.
I go to a school like Cedar Grove, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I might get 20, but I'm get to play against a mighty KC. And
man.
It's history, you know.
Well, enough.
It's not just about the
imagine,
game, you know.
Imagine. I've been in arguments with a younger.
From KC, the big side.
The older I get, the less arguments I have with people. But I remember when I was younger, I have an argument with somebody, and they asked me if I play sports. I'm like, yeah, not really. But I tell them, say, oh. And play Manning Cup and him a ball and review it.
Yeah.
I'm like, they take pride in that, you know.
Of course.
And it's probably
Cedar Grove.
Not
but guys,
and the man
is to the 2-tier system you speak about. I was a member of the Titchfield High School table tennis team when I was in about second form, probably third form.
Thought you that's a football?
No. I could have been a 5-letter man. I chose to represent the school at volleyball and table tennis, both of which I got national level honors. But
volleyball?
Let me make the point.
Level at volleyball?
Yeah, we were rural champions.
Oh, okay.
And we lost to Arden in the national finals, and I was the setter. The most important position, by the way. Not to toot my own horn. Yeah. But anyway, I was making a point that when KC came to Titchfield, and was I second form, probably third form. And they came a bunch of very big guys. Dennis Duncan led the team, Basil Coombs, some big names. Richard Spencer was probably playing for KC, I don't remember. But they came and walloped us, 7-up. And it, we could live it down for a long while, everybody teasing us. I played on that team, by the way. And I lived to see the day when we reversed that around. So I'm making the point that sometimes these beatings are good because it develops character. And as you guys can see, I'm a highly developed character.
From all those beatings you got.
Yeah, you have of course, it took domination by Casey. You all three went to Casey. Casey dominated us, and we sat down, my brother especially, and made a master plan. Oh, we're going to reverse this.
Okay.
And we eventually
use unsportsmanlike conduct.
And we became the strongest schoolboy table tennis team in the island eventually.
Hold on, Peter. So you guys won the All Island and beat KC?
Yeah, I wasn't on the team that time. I'd already left, but I left behind. Many times win the All Island. What are you talking about, Dale?
No, I know. I thought
so
I meant in your
time.
This story is quite complete.
You have to be careful when you spit in those making those statements.
Yes, because people.
You know my phone gonna blow up right after the show.
So
I know.
You did not win All Island table tennis for Titchfield.
I was talking from a Titchfield perspective. My journey is similar to, I came from a point of being an outsider and then eventually rose to becoming multiple national champion.
I've seen it.
But it doesn't change the point that Titchfield High School was swamped by Kingston College and later developed a team of hardcore people. Titchfield, indigenous people too, we didn't do like Kingston College and those other schools where buy people and bringing people. No accusation of cases.
What you talking about? What you talking about?
But the point I'm making is, these beatings can develop character. That's all.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah. So
no mercy.
yeah.
Oh, by the way, my brother is reminding me. In the days I was going to Titchfield, we used to beat a school called Happy Grove.
Yeah.
17 love and 15 love. And
Happy
this year, Happy Grove beat Titchfield 13 love. We're 7 love. So these reversals can occur over time.
Yeah.
Can occur over
It's
time.
your time. It's your time.
Yeah.
If you put on your foot.
Yeah.
Gordon Memorial, probably 10 years from now, then probably hold back Mona.
Watch this space. Watch this space.
So we're going to look out for Gordon's Memorial in 10 years' time and reverse his fixture.
I can't believe we're almost out of time and we never announced the big Basil Watson, man.
Oh, yes. I mean.
No, we got, no, man, what do you mean? We have to tell the voters to go vote.
Oh, to go vote.
Our audience and our viewers to go and vote. Give us a thing, no. It's your father, Kane. What exactly is he running for again?
I have to go tell you exactly. I'll take you until you have the top of my head, but definitely have to get the vote.
Yeah, in Europe, it's
in England.
It's a sculpture
in England.
Yes.
Yeah, I would like to encourage everybody to vote. I'd like to encourage everybody to vote, make your voice heard. Don't be like the Jamaican ambassador at the United Nations.
All right, it's one of it's a sculpture, the National Windrush Monument.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's a PSSA Marsh Awards. It's for the best public sculpture in the UK.
Yeah.
Voting ends
October 29th.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, so you still have time, people.
So you can go to the website pssauk.org/awards/
Shortlisted of I think 6 statues, and the statue of the Windrush monument is in the running, and I'm sure. I mean, it's narrowed down to 6, so it's a masterpiece. So
Basil Watson, the only Jamaican,
Trust
right?
me,
And it's the father of our host here, the Schwab.
The Schwab, yeah.
But I can't tell.
The father Schwab.
Go vote, guys. Go vote.
I see some impressive pieces there, but I can't tell her. Basil one is right there with them.
Definitely.
Trust me, it's right there.
Well, you know where my vote
right
lies,
there.
so I mean, where your vote should lie. So, but it's 6 marvelous statues going up against each other, and I mean, the votes will count.
Of course,
so,
of course.
Vote for your own Jamaica and Basil Watson, and
they're creating history again.
You know, never bet against Watson, right, Peter? That's what I tell you.
Very much so.
Yeah. So we'll come to the end of the show.
Yes.
Another primal episode. We want to thank
Dennis Chung, the Gen Sec of Jamaica Football Federation, for coming on today and sharing his views, giving us the background story from his point, from the JFF side. Yes. So I want to thank him again. And Froggy,
thank you again.
I want to big up all the listeners out there.
Fit FM 96.7 down there in Trelawney. We'll be seeing us soon.
Yeah. Big up to all the people on the Primal 4K app, YouTube, Facebook. I said the whole World Wide Web to the world.
Who's up next? DJ at Fashion.
DJ Fashion.
Yeah,
high energy party.
Yeah, man.
Right,
so stay tuned for that.
Same place, same time. See you guys next week for Primal Sports. We're out.
One love. Peace.
Take care. Transfer.